So for the next little bit, we're going to talk about colors, and I'm going to show you my color wheel that I use. It is a little bit different than the color wheel that we all learned in kindergarten. Instead of using red, yellow, and blue, I use yellow, magenta, and cyan. For the next few videos, I'm hoping to put my color knowledge together and cut it up into little bite-sized pieces. It's very hard for me to condense my knowledge of color. I really want to be able to share it with you and answer some of the questions that I get a lot about my colorful paintings and how I achieve that chroma. So I really hope you enjoy the next few videos that I have to show you all about color. So this is my CMY, or yellow, magenta, and cyan color wheel that I've put together for my students. First, I lay out my colors. I usually use a Hansa yellow, pigment yellow 74, pigment red 122, which is magenta, and cyan, which is pigment blue number 15. I'm going to start with putting my yellow down. I'm using a palette knife because it keeps my strokes more even and I can see the real mass tone of the pigments. Next, I put in the magenta, which I use as one of my primary colors, meaning that you can't mix it from any other color. Next, I'm putting down cyan, which is actually a phthalo blue number 15. 15.4 is usually best, but I didn't have that on hand, so I'm just using 15. I'm going to add a little bit of white, so just so you can see these colors. They're both the phthalo and the magenta are very transparent, and so it makes them show up really dark on my color wheel. So I want you, for this demo, I want you to be able to see them. So what I'm doing right now is mixing my secondary colors. I'm going to start out with orange, which doesn't have a box, but it's somewhere between yellow orange and red orange on my color wheel. As you can see, I bring in just a little bit of that orange into the yellow to make my yellow orange. I'm probably going to make it just, well, maybe a little yellower. I think it's good. So next I'm going to make a true red, which a lot of people don't realize this, but you can make a really beautiful true red by mixing magenta and yellow together. And that gives me my middle true red. And next I'm going to lay down my red orange. So once I finish with my warm colors, I start going in towards my cooler colors. I'm going to start with the red violet by mixing magenta and the phthalo blue. Now the phthalo blue is a lot stronger than the magenta, so you're going to have to be careful not to let it take over. Only the slightest bit makes a huge difference. I put in the true violet and the blue. It's a little bit hard to see the differences between them with this camera, but I assure you that the differences are there, and when we start to put in the tints, you'll be able to see them a little bit better. So I worked on the greens and didn't realize this wasn't recording, but here's the finished color wheel. You can see that I've got all colors represented, and I'll be continuing on with showing you how to do a completed full spectrum limited palette color wheel. If you would like to see more of these videos or support my artistic journey, I would really appreciate any sort of pledge. Please share with your friends or any art appreciators or art students. My Patreon page address is patreon.com/Talya. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.